The body scan meditation is one of the first meditations that you learn as a student of mindfulness, quite often in 8-week mindfulness classes. And the body scan usually lasts sometimes 30 to 40 minutes in some of these initial classes. So we're going to be learning more about why do we start with the body scan? Why is it important? Does it have to be that long? And all the pitfalls that go with it. That's what we'll be exploring today. So my name's Shamash. This is the Teach Mindfulness podcast. And as I say, we're exploring the body scan meditation. Now, although the body scan is taught and in these classes taught for quite a long period of time, 30, 40 minutes or more, first of all, it doesn't have to be that long. The reason that people tend to do them for that long is that when mindfulness was first researched back in the late 70s and 80s by John Kabat-Zinn, it was used for people going through chronic pain, going through tremendous difficulties in their lives, and they were highly motivated to do these practices because they tried everything else and nothing else had worked. And so they were willing to put the time and effort and set aside the other motivations to focus on learning mindfulness and doing these long practices. But you may find for your students, depending on the context, if it's in the workplace or maybe with children or teenagers, won't feel appropriate. They won't be motivated. It might be too difficult for them, and then they may give up. So don't feel you need to make that length exactly 30 or 45 minutes. It can go from anything from literally a few seconds to just scan your body, which is about cultivating an awareness of your body, just from your feet up to your head or the other way around. And that can have some benefits straight away. You're cultivating some present moment awareness. What we learn from the research in ACT, acceptance and commitment training, is that mindfulness can be practiced in a very flexible way. And it doesn't matter if it's just practiced for a few seconds. You're starting to step out from a normal habitual mode of mind, and there will be a benefit to that. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. It doesn't have to be a certain length of time. Secondly, when I trained to teach mindfulness, we always were taught to start from feet, for example, and there was a reason given for that, which was that it's a long distance away from the head, and it helps to raise awareness before you get into the different parts of the body. But as I've been teaching it over the years, it's also good to be flexible there too. You don't necessarily have to always start from your feet or your legs and then move upwards. You could start from the head and go downwards. You can start from one arm and scan from one side of your body to the other. And there's some value in that variety as well. So don't feel you need to follow a certain order either. You can move things around. Now, why do we teach the body scan, and why do we start off mindful classes quite often with the body scan? Well, the first and good reason for it is that it involves quite a lot of guidance. You have to tell people, move to this body part and this body part. You're guiding people from body part to body part, and so you're speaking quite a lot. And for new mindfulness students, because they're not used to doing mindfulness, and as we know, the mind wanders a lot, if there's that support of the teacher guiding them through and speaking quite often, it makes it easier for the student to engage in the session. So that's one reason why it's a good meditation to start with in courses. Secondly, it's great practice in attention. You're learning to move attention to a certain body part, notice what's there, if anything, and then move it away from there, and then move it onto another body part and noticing the sensations there. So you're lifting, moving, and placing your attention from moment to moment. And that's a really good, powerful exercise in training for the muscles of our attention, which is so useful then in other parts of our life when we need to move our attention from one place to the other. It's a great training in that. And even more importantly, I would say, because we're moving attention on the body is where we feel our emotions. But most people, if they haven't done much mindfulness, don't know that. So our emotions reside in our bodies and sometimes get even trapped in our bodies. So as you start doing the body scan meditation, you start to notice the different body parts, and you can also start to notice and connect with emotions that are there. which then raises your emotional awareness, raises your emotional intelligence. So you become more aware of your inner barometer of your emotional state. And so you're better able to consciously respond to other people as well. So it's really, really powerful. I find that when people do the body scan, for quite a few people, helps them to sleep too. Now, mindfulness is about falling awake rather than falling asleep. So it's not designed for falling asleep. But sleep is really important. And if people are struggling with sleep and this is an exercise that helps them to do that, then why not let them use it for that? So I wouldn't say that they shouldn't do that. For some people, it makes them fall awake rather than asleep, and it doesn't work from a sleep perspective. But for people that it does work with, you can encourage them to use it for that. But you also want to encourage them to do mindfulness at another time of day when they use it to raise their awareness and become more conscious. So there's a few things about teaching the body scan. Some other challenges that come up for people is that they don't like it or enjoy it, or they find that their mind wanders a lot. They maybe get frustrated with it, or they think it's not working for them, or they fall asleep when they don't want to. They keep falling asleep. I write more about the kind of challenges that come up in my book, Mindfulness for Dummies. So if you want to go into more detail to learn about the different challenges that come up for people and ways to help them through it, you can maybe have a look there. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. Do drop a review or a like or a share, all those good things. And check out our website if you want to learn to teach mindfulness, and get in touch with me if you'd like to join a mindfulness teachers community, which we're just starting up as well. All right. See you soon.